never grateful. Were we ever grateful, we'd have nothing. You fight for every piece. All of it.
This seditious talk sounds like communism. Just so we're on.
I think it's best you make up your own mind now that you've met him. In my eyes, he is a capable organizer and a decent businessman. I guess you kind of get to be the village by having the old man is corrupt for our benefit, and we know it. He is reasonably lavish, sure. Besides that,
This man has political.
no. I don't think I'm a communist. Seeing something of value and saying I want it all to myself is a much older and simpler notion. Even a weak child can think it. The only things holding someone back are I can't and I shouldn't. Just the way the world works, boyadero. Sure, I've had the necessary free time.
The look in his brown eyes conjures up an understanding. For him, having command, it all comes together now. The way he speaks about scabs, his general attitude. He's a follower of a 500-year-old Franco-Nigerian boyadero, that of a noble peasant or a traveling herdsman. True to yourself, independent in your actions, loyal to your friends. No. No. The man sits on the railing, his hands reaching far and wide. Yet it feels as if he could effortlessly go even wider. If
The mercenary, eh? Who could have killed him? That's indeed the question. Why even do such a thing? What a thought. Your dead guy was an enemy combatant. He was an agent of the opposition. I ain't the murdering type, but that's just me. Large.
he's not lying about not doing it for himself.
No problem. Los Ardi, they're sort of like you. But
A lorry stuck in the windows are clear. They've been recently washed. You can see a lorryman's cabin with personal belongings. The driver has adorned his space with a substantial collection of peculiar. The back end of the cabin has a small perch to sleep. A book with ragged edges catches your notice. The front cover features a large musket. A Stars Riker, one of the finest Zhimsk-made motor carriages ever. An oldie, but a goldie. Not many people outside of Grad, and Revachol West too, it are glad to share. The Zephyr Blue was also the color. A Stars Riker.
still here, stuck in this damn. Nope, don't smoke. Some of the other drivers do.
Yup, nothing wrong with that statement.
You could also check the kiosk down the street. Frit.
Что я хотел сказать? Так это... Можно все-таки бухнуть, короче, наверное.
You see several packaged raincoats fill a low shelf beneath a display of croissants and juice bottles. The rain... A colorful display...
Again, I'm obliged to inform you that both alcohol and cigarettes damage your health.
The tear machines, your bottles clunk in. An old call box with a matrix of push buttons lists all the companies in the East Delta Commerce Center.
Fuck does Kuno care? Kuno doesn't.
A crumpled billboard reading, Samaran butter soaks in the canal. Two ugly, judging by the size of the impact and the parallel lines of burnt rubber, the cause was probably a motor vehicle. These look like the same tire tracks I saw earlier, in front of the whirling rags. Side slip marks indicated that the vehicle was traveling up the crater at 35 kilometers. The black marks on the roof indicate that the vehicle vaulted from the crater to the roof of the shack. The panel served as a takeoff ramp. The vehicle soared through the air, hitting the building. The sign broke the vehicle's fall into the canal. The Samaran butter billboard still looks freshly painted, suggesting it took the plunge within the past 72 hours. Still speeding, the vehicle made a loop and vanished into the fog.
Нереалистично, что машина так смогла перелететь. Прям какое-то чудо. Конечно.
You sit on the wind-worn wooden planks of the bench. Your feet ache.
Что-то понимаю?
You sit on the wind-worn wooden planks of...
Нет.
You finally stop picking.
Я хочу просто так время тратить. Все, наверное, надо стоит.
This coin-operated viewer is facing southwest. Its coins, the metal feels cold and wet under your palm. It looks unhygienic. A thick layer, that's Kuno on the left. Under the graffito, a sea of blues and greys appear. Behind, you know this to be the stuff. Around the large wooden building, you see chunks of sea ice.
Not all the time. Right now I'm browsing books. Even a working class woman needs something to read. It is. I know you are. What with? My husband? No, he's not. You're welcome.
Her hands move over the book covers. The tips of her fingers look rough.
I don't mean to disrespect, sir, but you are being a bit of a cockatoo here. Nothing.
Maybe you should. What if the cockatoo is your astral captain? Or your heraldic bird?
Wonderful. The store is open.
The woman before. There. Working class drunk. You know what this means, right? Cracked it. All in a good day's work. What do you mean, what did I crack? Look at how working class that drunk is. No, it's not. Yes, and you found him. Now go and tell the working class woman. Didn't she repeatedly tell you her husband isn't missing though? There's no need for champagne when there's honor, recruit. Go and tell the work.
God damn it, I already told you. My husband isn't missing. And I specifically added that I didn't need to know. Very well then. Where is he? Excuse me? I don't follow. Right, cause working class women come with alcoholic husbands.
Remember, about that what. Never ever say what.
You were right. I do have an alcoholic husband.
Ha, lamb. Knew it.
I did, and he is. He's also... No, he's not. Or maybe he is, I don't know. He's probably in the park, or in Shamrocks. I haven't seen him for... Well, to hell with him.
She sighs, but you can detect.
Alright, go ahead. Do you have any questions?
Бля, ебать, он просто начал давить, просто человек в итоге оказался прав. То, что называется чуйк полицейская.
Honestly, not that different from you. That's one way to put it, yes. No offense. I'd also add he's a little bit chubby. What else? He was wearing a dark brown leather jacket with a bright blue inner lining. It's his cool jacket. God knows it's too cold to run around.
Who cares about the cold when you have your cool jacket to wear? You can completely...
I even tried throwing it away once, but he just dug it out of the bin. Can you believe it? Well, what can you do? I hope that at least that... Honestly? Oh, thank God, no. It hasn't come down to this yet. Well, he's... slight. What else? He was... It's his cool jacket.
Who cares?
I even tried throwing it away. Well, what can you do? I hope that at least that extra lining helps. Yesterday morning, he went to the library. He went to retrieve my book, and he promised. He promised because we talked about this. We talked about not wandering off again.
Gone for around 36 hours then. Dad, she turns away from you in an attempt.
So you are going to look for him? Thank you. Please do. Even though I'm sure he will return home by himself. I'm still sure of that. Right. Well,
She gives you a short nod before... Just an ordinary wall. Nothing to see.
Try to sneak up.
This must be it. The basement door is weather-worn. The copper nails holding the upholstery in place have turned green. The leather upholstery is worn and rough against your jaw. In fact, it's oddly silent in the yard. You knock silently. The upholstery muffles the sound. You try to be as silent as you can. It takes a bit. Finally, the door unlocks with a There might be important information in the apartment. I mean... This is the flag of Revachol, the suzerainty. This isn't just one sun, but there are little suns dancing around the big sun. It's an optical, atmospheric anomaly the first settlers saw. Happens in cold weather. 6 small suns around the big one. This complex halo phenomena is how old Revachol got its flag. The flag accepts your honorable salute with quiet dignity. A row of mugs sits on the shelf. Each one depicts a human figure. A dark-skinned woman grinning amidst mysterious symbols. A broad-shouldered man shoveling a little ring. Though cheerful, the images on the ceramic make you vaguely There's something disdainful in the way the curves and lines of the bodies were drawn. It looks like the artist is celebrating diversity, but underneath, he's just making fun of these people. You ain't gonna change someone's mind by calling them a bastard. Yes, your broken mug friend would feel very much at home here. The owner of this collection could be dumping his trash in the whirling's container. An interesting little clue. Let's see where this goes. Clues have a way of magically... Perhaps you should break into apartments more often. Who knows? Could be. But this clothes in the trash lead doesn't really seem like it's going anywhere. You could ask Everard who this person is once you're done here. It's just a racist, but it will not happen. The
Hello again, esteemed officer. A book about cockatoos? There should be one upstairs, right next to the shelf of biographies.
A sulfur-crested cockatoo sits on the cover, its beak slightly open. It looks as if the bird is calling out the book title, From A to Zurich, a guide to a well-behaved. Turns out that there are so many different cockatoo speakers. You don't have behavioral problems. That's garbage. You're cool.
It's a must-have if you own a cockatoo. I've heard they're quite capricious. Oh, a nature enthusiast. Good choice. I knew it.
A cockatoo is a parrot with an erectile crest, found on the Seminine Islands and in southern Fas a la Mer. Known for their intelligence and general precociousness, cockatoos are popular birds in aviculture. However, they often exhibit This book talks about the delicate nature of toos, as well as introducing some of the most popular species among the bird enthusiasts. The funeral cockatoo, the major majestic cockatoo, and the most common bang bang cockatoo. It's colorfully illustrated. This is a yellow-tailed black cockatoo. Its specific name, Psittacus venereus, relates perhaps the most impressive of all the species. The endangered major majestic cockatoo is often described as the most flamboyant bird in the jungle. Its pink color, in the words of despite its banging name, the bang bang cockatoo is actually the shyest of the species. Common in almost all Seminese forests, as well as zoos and homes all over the world. Its plumage is mainly grey and white. Where to even begin? All cockatoos are known for their needy natures, requiring attention for at least 2 full hours a day. They love to talk, and have been described as lovable clowns who just don't know how to wrap up. Pet owners also report moodiness, loudness, and hostility as recurring issues. If left unsatisfied, cockatoos may scream non-stop, pluck their feathers, or become aggressive.
Вылитый про меня.
It is not recommended to get a cockatoo if you're not able to cook them food every day and give them the full care that they need. These birds will never understand that you're right. Cockatoos are magnificent creatures. They love to perform, cuddle and show off, and will even scream for not great for the neighbors. Performing? Yes, birdie. Yes, but all those cockatoo species are so different. Which one are you? You're right. You're a fuckatoo embodied. This sorry-ass bird belongs on your heraldry. It probably doesn't even have feathers and only screams.
Охуенно.
Shelves full of biographies of
I would say. The Greatest Innocence. Yes, most certainly. It's an important, a very influential historical figure. But surely I don't have to tell you that. You're a law officer. The book is also very daring. The author aims to re-examine the universal understandings of the innocentic system, creating a fresh vantage point and a shift in the tired order of things. Certainly, it's prudent for a person to have at least an elementary understanding of history and society.
You feel like you should get this one. Definitely. It's important somehow. There's something personal inside. Browsing through all the books with all their names makes your head spin. Now, suddenly, a particularly odd title catches your eye. It reads, High Speed Love, the tragic true love story of High Speed Love chronicles the romance between two of the finest tip-top tourney racers in history. Next to Irv's life story, you see a slim biography of an Occidental rock. Next to that, Revacholian radio personality Guillaume Bevy stands in front of a rundown
I really must insist you buy one of the books. Reading them is not for free. Do still browse, though. I'm sorry, I did not mean to rush you. You are, I would say...
shelves full of...
I would say the book is also very daring. Perhaps for a
Do her words seem vague and...
Certainly, it's
You feel like you should get this one. Several maps have been attacked. The maps look old and faded. Your eye catches...
I'm sorry, they're quite valuable, though they might not look it. The map of my... Yes, are you interested?
descent has only worsened since I last saw you. You have really let yourself go. I am not the first line of defense. I am the last. In addition,
You pick up on something artificial in his tone, like he's putting on an act. This is unlike him. He is usually more himself.
Fine. They have recently fallen under the... Find out for yourself. Endomorphic blob.
He does not so much as glance at the object.
Stop showing me your pathetic cup.
He had nothing to do with it.
Your race descent has...
Ask what kind of races there are first. Classification is core to this stuff.
There are 3 categories of race. Type A, the heroic races. Type B, the servile races. And the vile CF race. Those are the Simonese, the Areopagite, and the Occidentals. Excluding the Maun, of course. The Maun, a receding genetic pool, has led the Maun on reprehensible street parades. In Maun cities like Stadskanal and Vredefort, wearing wooden clogs on their feet and little green tassels on their hats. The Vespertines and Messenians of Vesper and Messina, the ancient Meteorans of Meteo by the Gold, the other large Mondial civilization, the Mesk, are too yellow and oleaginous to count as a heroic race. True, overproduction of sebum. Sebum is leaking into their brains, making them listen to El Mariachi music and eat toxic minced meat, as proven by the Maun and the Mesk. Occidental type A is in retrograde. The Simonese and the Areopagite, the indigenous people of this, the Insulindian archipelago. The Simonese and the Areopagites are the master race of the Ilmara.
Wait, didn't Ilmaran desert pygmies invent alcohol and get pillaged just a short while ago?
No, those were scimitar-wielding race losers of Zahrafa, Izet, and Bashir, with their Himmi servants. Big difference.
Jan, baby, you're on fire.
I know, bae. The Areopagites are sleek, long-headed. The latter is perfected and adapting. Type B are the unheroic races, amorphous non-competitors of the great race.
The Koikos of Grad, Yugo, Zhimsk, Chest et al. Are what you would call white, officer, in a suspect description.
Yes, to an untrained eye, the Koiko appear white and pinkish, like a hands-on witch. But look into their eyes and you will see. Pinkness is a racial quality that has to be earned through centuries of advanced ballistic warfare and cultural domination that the Grad people have under the Koiko.
Wouldn't he be one for ethnostates?
The Vasholians, halfway between Type A and the Racial Cauldron.
Is it 82,000 years that we've been recording history? You have very little is happening, but that seems a little off.
The revolution came to Ravachol from Gra in Zara's written potato carts. It is literally an illness. The revolution is fatal familial insomnia. A hereditary enough of Tibet mediocrity. Tips CF are a museum of failed chimeric experiments. Lesser races like the mosquito, a grotesque mixture of the mosquito is born sterile.
It seems unlikely that two human beings produce genetically sterile offspring.
You are right. You have misunderstood. Then there is the Simino Koiki Chimera. Are you sure you wish to know of the Simino Koiki Chimera? The Koiko, as you know, are very servile, especially when they meet the rich man. Racial scientists have toyed with the idea of crossing the Simonis with the Koiko. This will never happen. The Simonis and the Koiko may have similar interbreeding problems as the mosquito. We will never know precise, but enough. It is cruel to entertain ourselves. You understand nothing. To solve the great race enigma, you have to first ask yourself, what is the race enigma? You have not even worded the mystery, let alone solved it. You need to internalize what you have heard here today, then return to me. I cannot possibly imagine what else we have to discuss, Tibere. There is nothing fun. I cannot possibly imagine. The unpromising race pupil return.
Mr. Dubois, a pleasure as always. You don't have to sit down this time, since you've already sat. My dear Harry, there are literally millions of containers in this harbor. I couldn't possibly... Harry, you smooth-talking son of a bitch. Time is a precious resource, and I don't have...
Smooth talking. Maybe that's the way to go about opening the container. You should at least try convincing it.
I'm very glad to hear that, Harry. One question. You didn't actually happen to stumble in and see what's inside the apartment, did you?
конечно же нет. Я таким не занимаюсь.
He's trying to figure out if you're lying.
You're right, Harry. You only had to unlock the door, which you did. So we're all good here.
He was testing you, and you
Now let's get down to brass tacks. It's time for men like me and you to figure out who's killed who and why. Real police work is gonna start happening now. I promise you, Harry, this is gonna be good. By now, I'm sure you've figured out who the dead man was working for. The bad guys. Wild Pines. Sent to scare us. Another violent measure of the top hats against us flatcaps. Harry, this strike is the culmination of many, many mistakes made by the Wild Pines group. They tried to shut the strike down by sending in armed mercenaries. A security contractor? Can you imagine that? Workers standing in peaceful protest, united in the spirit of fellowship, and they send hired killers to...
He performs a motion as if spraying bullets.
I'm talking beasts. Hardened killers from proxy wars in Yesut, Semenine, Saramaritsa, you name it, they've done it. Raping, killing, burning, everything they did there, they brought over here. They want to turn Revachol into a third world slum. Honestly, the only thing they didn't do is kill the village elephant. No, Harry, the elephant is metaphorical, and so is the village, but the Now, I haven't personally witnessed the brutalities out there. I have the luxury of staying in my container, you see. If I need to go somewhere, they just move my container.
Хорошо живет, а? Получается, у него в кресле должен быть сразу унитаз встроенный.
About my fun container? It's a hoot, Harry. Who knows? Maybe you'll be in here the next time they move it. It will be very fun, I promise. But enough about me and my container. The killers the company hired, I think there were 3 of them. All hardened commando types. One of them got downright suicidal. Getting drunk, violent, a little rapey. Even their own negotiator couldn't control him. That's your boy. The one who likes hanging out and Harry, what you need to realize is, we dock workers we got grit, Harry. This whole neighborhood does. Push us hard enough and we push back. And when we do, we push to kill. Potentially, Harry, potentially. We got arm wrestling champions, rowing club people, ex-coal mine. There's a militant wing inside the Union. A group of people whose duties don't involve manual labor, but peacekeeping in the neighborhood.
That sounds a bit like organized crime.
They're like you. Idealistic people who want to make sure that bad things don't happen. And
Again, that sounds like organized crime.
One day Titus Hardy, leader of this peacekeeping faction, comes up to me and says, "Boss, Socialist Democratic fervor." He probably worded it differently, but that was the idea. Sure sounded to me like they killed him. I gave them 2 weeks paid leave and told them to lay low to avoid retaliation. Oh, I'm not at all worried about that. These are not the kind of men who get arrested. They're Martinez boys, tough and gritty. I'd like to see the man who takes them in. Besides, I sent...
He places a lot of faith in that lawyer girl. Perhaps this is a tactical error. Anyway.
How do I know? Let me tell you about these people. Last winter, some poor workers in Terminal E went on a little strike. The company sent in Sediment, a security contractor. These guys turn up and start beating people. Tell you what, Harry, I wouldn't be surprised if we got the same mercenary company after a little rebranding. And I'm sure as hell not... You said it, Harry. Hell, one of those guys looks big enough to take down that proverbial elephant. Boys like that.
That does sound quite unlikely, yes. The big guy leading the scabs at the gate is colossal.
Oh, Liz is a bright one. I paid for that law degree myself, thinking it'll probably turn her all fancy. But hell, Harry, she came back a firebrand socialist. Sometimes she scares me with her zeal. Oh, they are simply fine young men, all 7 of them. Exemplary union members. Always old Theo used to run them, but things really kicked into gear when Titus took the reins and named the group after himself. Gotta love his initiative. Harry, they're almost all of them great guys, born leaders. Whatever happened, work with them. Hell, interview them. But don't fight them. But of course, it's the least I can do for my good friend Harry. I'll do it.
You can now go and tell Titus about this. See what he...
Also, Harry, here's 5 real. Oh, I wasn't offering it to you, just holding it out there. But I'm willing to share information. Was there anything else? Was it a good talk? I'm not sure we made much headway here. I was hoping we'd bust the case wide open. Heck, I even wanted to I don't know what happened, Harry. I wanted you to feel like Mr. Martinez. And of course, I also wanted you to find your gun. But it's like I can't completely trust you. Yet. Yes, Harry. It's like I can't fully trust you if you're not a man of the left.
A man of the left. So you have to be a social... He's been hurt too much in the past by men who aren't social democrats.
Perfect, Harry. That's perfect. My version of the left is not against the companies, it's with the companies. Honestly, what I have in mind is a business proposal. A left-wing business proposal, but once again, I require nothing unethical or illegal of you. You just need to get 2 little signatures on this piece of paper, and then mail it to my accountant in La Delta. I'm glad you asked, Harry. The Union is going to build a modern youth centre in Martinez. It will be righteous. We're gonna get those teenagers off drugs. And on rollers. There's a nameless little street on the coast with some old houses around it. Most people have already signed. I just need 2 more signatures to get this mission off the ground, Harry. On the coast, Harry, across the canal. There's a cul-de-sac there, a little village they're calling it. They are just gonna have to deal with the construction noise for 6 months, and then they'll be living like kings. Right next to a fancy new youth centre.
Is he absolutely sure the tenants won't be thrown out in the street?
Am I? Harry, these people, Martinez is the most important thing in my life. We're gonna build a youth centre there. The value of their properties goes up, and kids have a place to play in. I'm looking out for these people, not pulling the rug from under them, Harry. I'm looking out for all of You bring joy to my heart, Harry. Such a pleasure to be working with you. You need to get signatures from Isabel Sadie and Lillian Carter. The cul-de-sac is right past the pawn shop and across the canal. I hear there is some trouble with the waterlock, but they should fix it by Wednesday. Once you have the signatures, mail this to 13022 La Rocca in La Delta. Then I know we can do business together. Most certainly, Harry. By all means, see you soon.
You're back before the cargo container. Its draw has not lessened.
Test positions.
Right to work.
You see a heavy steel. The door does not. You see the door, 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 the cobalt. It leads to a side building, adjacent to this one. The old building next to this, half ruined. Whatever is behind it must be older. The cobalt blue surface. It leads to a. The man ponders his cooking utensils and gives you a little nod, acknowledging your presence. The man says a couple of sentences in that strange language. I'm pretty sure he asked you a question. He doesn't know your language. You can just say something cool in return.
Horse need more vodka?
Of course, vodka. Now that makes a very, very special borscht indeed. Turn it up and then ask for some yourself. Turning it up seems like a dangerous idea, honestly. The place is a powder keg. The cook gives you a long, disappointed look, then turns the stove off, and the mention of mañana gets his attention. He smiles and delivers a whole slew of unfamiliar words and lively gestures. The man ponders his cooking utensils and gives you a little nod, acknowledging.
Либо борщица бахнул.
I've got nothing to say to you. Why are you wasting your time? I suggest not wasting time on trivial pleasantries.
Even though she has excellent control over herself, something moved behind her eye. You caught her off guard. Push her some more.
No. Talk to Titus. I suggest
Even though you caught her off guard. Push.
you are not here to chat up the legal counsel.
You set the pace and the topic of these conversations. A man like Easy Leo could have said anything. Do not be restrained, sire.
I represent the Union and these men here.
A very minor victory.
Нет, 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 нет. Поднятый нажал. Не хочу. Так. Сейчас черточку попробуем.
I've got nothing to say to you. I suggest
Even though you caught her off guard. Push her some more.
you are not here.
You set a man like Easy Leo could have said anything. Do not be restrained, sire.
I represent the Union and these men here.
A very minor victory.
Не будем врать, он просто как бы сказал по факту то, что сказал. Не хочу просто представлять, что он вообще хороший мужик был. Ты чуть ты пизжу про него. Его с ним что-то сделают. Ну как бы и так могут узнать хотя бы. Правду сказал, просто типа рассказывал. Ничего это ужасного.
What are we going to do to you? The Union isn't going to do anything to you.
God damn.
If anything, it is the RC.
Looks like the circus left town, but the clowns are still here. Oh, so you went and talked to my mommy, and now she's making...
And what's gonna happen if we don't? You're gonna go and tell on us? You gonna let him talk to me like that, Titus?
Let's see. The old man sent word you'd be around again. That's the reason I'm being so forthcoming with you. Don't wear it out.
But having Everard back you up like that did seem to have some effect. Starting from the right, sitting across, he spent, and then the emblem on his vest said in the far corner, standard working size, 40 in the mid. In conclusion, exactly.
The fuck is with again? About fucking time.
Маловато все равно пока. Чтобы затащить.
Oh, hello, dear. Oh, yes. A zoologist. It's really just a subfield of zoology, searching for such species called cryptid.
The quality of research at Revacholian universities has been... There's really no point in manipulating anyone. She'd be only too pleased to tell you about her work. Go on and ask.
Oh, I'd be delighted. Truth be told, I could really use that would be the giant of Kokonur. The giant lives in the most arid parts of the vast Kokonur Desert in South Samara, casting a strange light across the barren. No one knows for sure. It is like an awful mountain appear. The towering luminosity of Kokonur is a bad omen in local folklore. That's what makes it so peculiar. A species surviving at the very limits. There are limits, you see, to how large a metabolism an ecosystem can beget. Some say a gravity anomaly below the Kokonur.
Gravity anomaly? Digging it. Digging this parascientific stuff right here.
Cryobacter catlensis. Yes, a unicellular bacterium that was discovered in one of the northernmost points. The bacterial colony Mijanu found had remained alive while frozen in ice for longer than. Mijanu disappeared shortly after injecting herself with the bacteria she had brought back to study. No doubt in hopes of prolonging her own life.
Бля, боже, каким надо быть гением, чтобы взять какие-то неизвестные бактерии вколоть, бля. Не, ну ученый. Все ради открытия.
Yes, the bacteria had survived in the ice since times immemorial. It is not hard to see where she could have gotten the idea. Yes, and she's quite mad too. After she treated herself with the bacteria, she stopped aging, but also became. We can assume that she has been living somewhere in the wilderness for decades now, all alone except for the gnome of Jeroma. Oh, yes. None of its victims survived. Grieving relatives never even found their body. It was reportedly a small creature with webbed fingers and a protruding forehead, and a couple of campers found it when it was already dying. They heard an odd wailing in the woods, and it still took the gnome of Jeroma an entire day to die. Alas, no. And the first scientist who got his hands on the creature's corpse put it in a jar. Instead, all the venom leaked out of the creature's teeth and into the surrounding liquid, dissolving the creature itself. A poetic end, perhaps, but a real loss for science.
Как удачно это все произошло для этого ученого. Что-то открыло, а потом опа, оно открытие само себе развеяло, и не докажешь уже.
Alas, always, alas, and then it was gone. Isn't that overly convenient?
I understand your skepticism, but that's what happens with things that are rare and stand out. Their disappearance is most memorable, and they are least likely. What an interesting question. The Col de Mama d'Aqua, or thin whisper of sound. And that's precisely what it seems to be.
Col de Mama d'Aqua can also be translated as a whisper light and low.
It could be. As I said, it could be everywhere. And we wouldn't know any better. Yes, that's another translation. Although the low part is a little ironic. The Col de Mama d'Aqua makes, or rather is, such a high-pitched sound that other animals, including humans, can't hear it. It could be everywhere. Many scientists have asked the same question. Some have claimed that it isn't itself a sound, but a tiny corpuscle that emits sound waves. That is a sad story. A group of university students assisting with the field work in their enthusiasm for the project. They tried to communicate with it and had no other means but sound. So they started sending out sound waves at frequencies.
They cancel each other out.
Exactly. And these tests were performed so recklessly that when they after that, the corpuscle appears to have migrated elsewhere. There have been recordings of anomalies similar to those spotted in AI, but they've been plenty. It's the evidence that led to its discovery. In the 20s, a group of Areopagite ornithologists that, when playing back recordings they had made in the foothills of the Ea mountain range, they noticed certain anomalies, patterns that seemed random at first, but on closer examination were consistent. The scientists soon discovered they could track and even predict what appeared to be feeding, mating, and migration patterns based on sound waves in a strictly. They realized that they had discovered a new species and called it the Coldemamadaqua after the paracanat. They grew quite obsessed with these little birds. Even though they couldn't see them, they could distinguish sequester, time, Joscan. What about what? Yes, it's the kind green ape. Half war story, half undiscovered species. Yes, it was reported by soldiers in South Safra during the war. The kind green ape would visit bunkers during the night, healing wounded soldiers with its saliva. Indeed, there is. It's our closest relative among the cryptids. Same taxonomic fact, which is to say the kind green ape is a species with which we share a common ancestor and that evolved parallel to our own, just like your partners.
Если бы Ким был здесь, он бы обиделся.
In everyday speech, human isn't really a scientific category. For all legal and ethical purposes, your partner is a person just like you, so you might as well think of. Some argue that I'm glad you like them, but I'm not really one to tell you about all of them. You should ask my husband if you get the chance. Of course, dear. I'm glad you like.
Can I help you?
Тут еще есть. Ты имеешь в виду в игре или именно вот в разговоре с этой женщиной? Что ты подразумеваешь, говоря тут? Ну, я говорю, пока что я играю, меня вчера Санек спрашивал, и типа это хорошо, что игра сложная в плане информации. Потому что как бы если ты не будешь ничего сложного поглощать, то как бы у тебя и не будет развиваться твой мозг. Но как бы учитывая, что этот сложный уровень выше намного того, чем я обычно это, что я обычно поглощаю, то как бы это. Я не скажу, что оно совсем мимо меня проходит. Но как бы это. Не могу, как сказать, на ту глубину это все понять, насколько преподается. То есть, как бы, если бы я намного лучше во всем этом разбирался, мне, возможно, было бы поинтереснее, и местами я бы мог что-то там прокомментировать и, как бы, не знаю, там, какие-то параллели провести, а я, как бы, это... Да, я просто, как бы, играю, читаю, и мне об этом нечего сказать. Местами забавно. Там, где я понимаю, когда прям совсем бред идет.
Got the 20 real? Good. You got the room for the night, but remember, you'll need another 20 real tomorrow.
Да, и не, я понимаю, что так и надо. По-хорошему нужно просто один раз идти, и как идет, да, и я понимаю. Постараюсь больше не делать этого. Куда придем, туда придем. Больше не буду. Просто буду больше думать теперь, как я хочу поступить, чтобы потом не перезагружаться. Так. Я знаешь, что хотел? Я хотел все-таки бухлишко выпить. А я понимаю, как бы разумный человек бы отказался от этого, учитывая, что у меня из-за бухла амнезия, но может быть и не из-за этого, что я перепил, и как бы еще больше продолжать делать, когда ты понимаешь, что персонажи из-за этого проблемы были большие. Как бы это неразумно, но мне это даст все физ-статы на единичку. Ящик. Который за негром стоит, что ли? А, нет, большой контейнер ты имеешь в виду? Который я спустил с краном, да? Он же, по идее, типа за каждый день больше и больше будет открываться, потому что там было написано +1 за прошедший день. Так что я подозреваю, что каждый следующий день он будет еще больше и больше шанс его открыть. А может я еще дополнительно что-нибудь найду, чтобы помогло мне. Вот. Что-то я хотел сказать. Ну ты про бухлишко. Я говорю, то есть, если мыслить логически, это не надо делать. Говорю, но учитывая, что у меня какой-то квест есть на это. Да я вообще хотел бы по возможности, чтобы Ким со мной вообще все делал, типа, чтобы реагировал. Просто я проебался с холодильником, проебался со многими моментами. В итоге не успел сделать то, что нужно, чтобы с трупом разобраться. Я вообще не хотел его никуда отправлять, я хотел сам с ним полностью это изучить, ботинки снять, все дела. Ну, что есть, то есть. Вот, пробухло. Боевой дух всего лишь на единичку. Подожди. На единичку из 2 он вообще станет стабильно 1 всегда. Или типа просто сейчас понизится на единичку. А я потом сразу выпью и восстановится. Вот это. Все один. Давай вот это я проверю, как бы, единственное, просто не хочу проебать себе там, чтобы у меня был потом один дух. И чтобы я там любой встречной херней типа сдох. Если просто понизится вот типа вот на деление сейчас типа просто 0 ставит, как сказать. И я смогу его сразу установить тем, что выпью, тогда окей. А если она повысится максимальный запас на единичку и каждое любое неправильное действие меня убьет, я не хочу так. Что это? Но выпить надо, потому что мне статы все повысит. Так. А статы это хорошо будет.
Well, hello. Someone's light reflects. Wow. The gods of mass. There's a satisfying pop as the cork jumps out. A golden sun melts down your throat. Its rays filling your nostrils with sunshine. Your stomach melts from it.
На единичку, нормально.
Happy, gooey mess. So does your mind. All the bad things are melting.
И, кстати, это же когда выпиваешь, она же типа снимает алкогольное опьянение.
A real detective.
По-моему.
Incredibly well done.
In the bottom right corner of the screen, there's an alcohol button. Alcohol gives +1 to physique skills. Physical instrument, half light, electrochemistry, endurance, pain threshold, and shivers. This is good before rolling a white check, but damages your morale. And remember,
from the void we came, and to the void we must.
Он временно дает, да? плюс физиология. Временно. Все, тогда нахер, пока сохраняем. Тогда не будем. Я почему-то думал, что типа это ты просто выпьешь, выполнишь квест, у тебя навсегда будет. Тогда ладно, тогда сохраним на момент, когда нужно. Так. Не хочу просто так пухать. Ну-ка попробуем еще с этой болтать. Она откроет мне дверь?
The door is closed. This door still...
Ну открой. Так, что еще можно сделать? Я, помню, совсем уже поболтал. Но я хочу по максимуму день использовать.
Was that? Could it be? The Coldamama Dakwa? No. It's probably just your... There seems to be an extremely high-pitched ring. Ultrasonic. Lena also said that it couldn't be heard by any other animal, including humans. What you're hearing must just be a regular bird. There it is again. You're about to rediscover. It must be very close. Keep still. It might perch on your shoulder. Oh no. The sound. It's moving. No. Too late. It's gone. There is no ringing anymore. Just the sound of the streets. Keep your ears peeled then. If the species really has migrated to Martinez, you're sure to hear it again.
Кек. Знаешь, что как можно попробовать, короче. Самые большие эти, как его, по времени. То, что больше всего исследуется, то, что, скорее всего, будет давать плюшки хорошие. 5 часов. Логически, если чисто так. Зачем сюда выбирал? Тут же есть более близкий проход. А, не, все правильно. Все правильно. Только после 9 должен прийти домой, надо будет по курягу. Поймать.
Give me a moment.
You hear someone walking up a poor communard from the looks of it. The room is barely bigger than a closet.
Do I have to open the door? Do you have a warrant?
It's generally easier to do things if you have literally any reason.
Вряд ли что-то есть. На всякий случай давай сразу разгоним. Что тут должно сейчас было появиться? 26.
This door is made of metal, and no one answers. Looks like he isn't home.
Он просто так не вскрывает эти штуки. Никогда больше не показать, что делать. Может тут сходить к этому ломбард попробовать продать. А потом посидеть на скамейке. Что-нибудь продать, я даже не знаю, что. Пока не хочу ничего продавать. Ладно, открытки можно продать. Может они куда-то пригодятся. А, можно вот это еще поизучать. Попробовать. Лучше в комнате делать. Ну, типа, я не знаю, еще нет, конечно, не влияет, но типа, это чисто по логике. Если ты думаешь, что ты можешь вырубиться в сознание, то лучше это делать в своей комнате, я так считаю. Сейчас. Это уже заканчивать пора.
It's the ledger you found in the trash. A cabbage of papers hanging from the board, with the permeables drawer inside. It's barely held together by a clip, then made without resistance or sound. The two panels move against each other. The compartment is now open. Inside, it's slightly. In the back, you see thin, translucent copy of paper, some neon yellow. Then rip them from the binder and hand them out. 3. The topmost are misconduct fines. The middle ones are station calls. You don't have to be an intellectual giant to do police work. A monetary penalization ranging from 20 to 250 real. Severe cases allow for 1,000 real, but that requires special paperwork. The details of issue, but they appear pleasantly vague. These are quite sinister in tone. They give a date and time for the person to appear at the specified precinct police station. Below the call are the criminal. A dozen pages of thin copy paper, bright red in color. You see the parameters of a deceased human form. Yes, all that remains now is to fill those forms and hand them to people. Fines for wrongdoers, interview requests for bad guys, and field autopsies to dead guys. The rest of the stinking cellulose is much worse for wear. Be without resistance or sound. The two panels, you stare at the card, willing your hand to move. 2 octopuses are smiling. The words just crossed your mind somehow. Who do you think? It's slightly.
Все, ничего, короче. Серьезно. Ладно, будем на этом. Пора идти на работу.